Hello everybody, this is quixQuery here, and today we are back to play a little bit more totally accurate battle simulator, totally derpy battle simulator, and we are going to be looking at the Dark Peasant in today's video, and ways that we can kill it, because it is a rather difficult unit to deal with, and you'll see here why, and this is just two Dark Peasants going at it. Essentially, they just stab whatever units are in their range with a spike from the ground. And this is pretty difficult to deal with, considering pretty much a lot of the units that don't have larger range will die to this guy because he'll just stab them automatically and with his spikes from the ground. And so, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be facing off against this guy and seeing what ways we can think of to take this guy on. Now, I was experimenting the other day with this, and I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Samurai Masters or something like that, maybe a few more, going up against this guy, and I was actually able to take him out. Never mind, we might need a few more Samurai Masters, but that was one way I was able to figure out how to take him out, and that was considering this guy costs 20,000. That's pretty good as far as a way to take him out. If I can do it with these guys, because these guys only cost 500. And that was another blue victory, but we'll see how many of these guys is required to take on this Dark Peasant, and get back to you in a little bit. Aha! So it won't happen every time, but you can get a red victory with 20 or so of these Samurai Masters spaced out enough so that they don't all get taken up by one spike. Because if you put them too close together, then the spikes will actually hit multiple of them at the same time and catch multiple of them in the same spike, and so the Dark Peasant will have an advantage that way. And see here, yeah, see, that was another red victory, but that doesn't happen all the time. Occasionally, the Dark Peasant will get a victory against these guys, and so some of it just comes down to the RNG of the battle to see what happens. So you may be thinking, okay, this Dark Peasant costs 20,000, right? Well, the next most expensive unit is the Super Peasant, so why don't we just stick up the Super Peasant against him? A bunch of the Super Peasant, too. So, well, let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 50,000 right there. Let's throw in some more just for fun. 2, 3, 4, 5, and start this up. And we will see that blue comes out victorious. The Super Peasant is completely ineffective against the Dark Peasant. So don't even think about using Super Peasants against a Dark Peasant. Not a good way to kill off a Dark Peasant. This is kind of funny to watch. A bunch of chariots going in to try and get this Dark Peasant. Definitely does not work, though. Definitely does not work. Now, that was considerably... Okay, this is considerably more Ninja Masters. We are spending much, much more on Ninja Masters here than we are on the Dark Peasant on the other side. So, this is definitely not one of the best ways to do it, even if these guys can barely take them on. But we're just going to put a junk unit at the front to tank the damage to begin with and see what will happen. And they're pelting him with ninja stars, shurikens, but blue has definitely come out victorious there, and so Ninja Masters are not the way to go. So here we have a bunch of musketeers against our Dark Peasant, and they're all in an arc so that we can see if they can do a significant amount of damage to him without actually taking each other out while they're pointing at him. And Now, musketeers are much, much better at ranges, and so the farther away you put the musketeers from the Dark Peasant, the better this is going to go. The big advantage that the musketeers have over the Dark Peasant is that they have knockback when they shoot at this guy. And so they will continuously be able to knock this guy back as he tries to come closer. And so hence the musketeers will never end up in range of the Dark Peasant. And you can see that the musketeers continue to advance on the Dark Peasant. And I think they'll continue to advance on him until he falls off the edge or they kill him with their bullets. And occasionally, though, battle RNG will dictate that, aha, there we go, he falls off the edge. But occasionally battle RNG will dictate that these guys will completely miss him entirely. And so he will actually sometimes have a chance of being able to take out some of the musketeers. But this is by far the cheapest method. And you can see I spent 4,400 on all of these musketeers. That's it. And they were able to take out a 20,000 unit. And so that is actually pretty good, because even our 20 Samurai Masters, they cost 500 each. 500 times 20 is 10,000, so this is by far a cheaper method of taking out a Dark Peasant. So, yeah. Okay, well, Musketeers do it because they can stay at a range. How about Archers? Can Archers do any good against this guy? Well, let's see. The big problem the Archers have is that they don't have knockback the same way the Musketeers do, and so this guy is able to advance closer to them much quicker than he was with the Musketeers. And so Archers do not have the same advantage that the Musketeers do in that aspect. Well, okay, let's try out the Hwacha. The Hwacha! Put several of those down and see what they can do against the Dark Peasant. Oh wow, that guy's in a tree. Okay, let's try this out. And that is definitely a red victory. However, that's actually really interesting because this side only spent 5,500 against the Dark Peasant, and so Hwachas are definitely a very effective way of dishing out a lot of damage against something like, say, Dark Peasant at a range. And so Hwachas are definitely a good way to go. Okay, let's see how catapults do. Now you can see that the catapults, the main advantage they'll have is that their boulders can knock this guy back. However, it doesn't work every time, unfortunately, so... But when it does work, it works magnificently. And you can see that this guy is being knocked back over and over and over again. And it's entirely possible that he'll get knocked back off the edge here shortly. Dun dun dun! Dark Peasant defeated! Oh man, those things are fast! Look at that. It's a red victory. So catapults do have an advantage against this guy, thanks to their knockback. How about cannon crews? Do cannon crews have a good knockback against this guy? Well, let's try it out. Here we go. We have a bunch of cannon crews. Hopefully they won't shoot each other too much. They do have a bit of knockback. Nice. This is going pretty well for the cannon crews. Where'd he go? There he is. My goodness. Yeah, the cannon crews are doing insanely well against this guy. Uh-oh. He's getting closer. Ah, yes, that's a red victory. So cannon crews are definitely effective against this guy. Okay, let's have some fun with this. How effective would barrel rollers be against this guy? Probably not as effective as I'm hoping, but let's try this out. Let's try this against this guy. Fireworks show! And let me guess who remains. Oh, the game crashed. Okay. So, using what we know of the Dark Peasant, we have set up a bit of stuff right here. And so we have some cannon crews, some catapults, and several huachas, as well as some muskets back there, another few cannon crews over there, and hopefully this will be super effective against the guy. It looks like he got knocked back before the huachas were able to do as much damage as they were able to, and so that probably, the huachas could have probably ended up being more effective. But we'll just see how this turns out. Muskets are advancing, cannons are advancing, catapults are advancing. This is going very well, I think. Yeah, I believe that the Dark Peasant's big weakness is knockback, and if you can knock him back, then that will serve you miles as far as being able to dish out more damage later. And so, yeah, that was a red victory before he even fell off the edge, so that's actually was pretty good. Let's try that simulation again just to see if something's going to go differently. Oh boy. And the huachas have finished their rounds. He's getting up. Oh, nope. But now things are knocking him back even more. He's trying to go for that cannon crew right there, but he's just continuously being knocked back by other things. Ooh, direct hit from the cannon crew. Good damage from everything. Muskets still shooting. Yeah, this is a very, very effective strategy. Anything with knockback appears to be very effective against him. Huachas are just there to dish out some damage. But as far as like a longer term strategy, you really just want a good amount of knockback in your troops to be able to take this guy on. Because earlier we were able to take him out with 4,400 money's worth of just muskets, and so I'm sure you could do it with considerably less money than that. And so anyway, that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.